Alright folks, hello, it's your boy Bank Bank here with an interesting, hopefully interesting video for you about ROM hacking, a great old game called Emeraldia. So I started playing this game recently just to investigate it. I had tried it before but I was not into it, but after giving it some time I think it's actually really interesting. It's got a lot of play based on diagonals, and it's got this awesome don't use drugs. This is activatable in the NVRAM. So the issue I had was, and we'll play the game real quick. When you play the game, it only has one rotate. It only goes counterclockwise. It's only got one button. And that's cool. I like the minimalism of a one-button game, but it's going to be a lot better if the game has counterclockwise and clockwise rotation. Two input buttons. So I've already got some experience with 68,000 CPU. That's what this game is running on, a Motorola 68,000. It's the Namco NA1, NA2 system. So I spent about 4 hours or so in MAME debugger and Ghidra, and I found the function for rotation, and I hacked the game so that it has two input buttons, and I wanted to walk you through that process. So let's take a look-see here. So here's the source code of what we did, and we'll just go through it real quick, and then we can look at it through the debugger and MAME. So this is original code that happened. It loads the address of the 2x2 falling pieces. It's 4 separate bytes or words in RAM that holds each of the 4 blocks, because each falling piece is comprised of 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. One of them's always blank. So this is there's four pieces. 3 of them get moved into registers D1, D2, D3, and then another one also gets moved into a register. However, I don't move that one in initially because this register D0 at this breakpoint holds which button was pressed. So it's 10 for button 1, 20 for button 2, 40 for button 3, and like combinations like 70 would be all 3 buttons. So what do? This is new code that I added. We compare D0 register with 10. If it's not 10, if they didn't press button 1, then we go to alternate input. If they did press button 1, then we proceed just like it would have done in the normal base game. So then we overwrite register D0 with the first falling block that would have happened initially or originally together with these other ones. And then this is the original rotation, so it just swaps them amongst themselves. This is, so you can see in the game there's a white, oh we died. So you can see this white outline around the falling piece. So that's what this is. This is, and you can see my note here. So this just increments the animation of the white outline, and this happens next originally, and I commented it out because this and happens regardless of whether you rotate clockwise or counterclockwise. So I moved it down here so we don't have duplication of code. I mean, it doesn't matter at all. But anyway, after we're done with all this, this is button 1, the original counterclockwise rotation. We branch to exit. Exit is down here, so we do the animation malarkey that was up here, and then we just go back to where we came from, where we should be. And if the player did not press button 1, we branch to alternate input, and in alternate input we have to do this D0 overwrite again. It's exactly the same as what's right here, and then we rotate differently. So you can see in this one D0 goes to the 3rd slot. In this case D0 goes to the 2nd slot, and so on and so forth. And then for the white outline animation, instead of adding 4, we subtract 4, and then we do this and stuff, and then we jump back to where we need to go. So now let's take a look. BP enable. So now I'm going to just press rotate, and now we can see the same code that we just looked through in the ASM file source. Now we can look at it through the MAME debugger. So this area encodes at encode starting at 64EE was the original code that you were looking at, and I just blanked it all out with FF. this is never going to run because it always goes to jump, and then when we come back to right here. So I'm stepping forward, and it's going to take us to the end of the original code, which was like at this point it was all FF as well. This is the end of the ROM, or the end of the code in the ROM, not the end of the ROM. So now we're at the insertion point. So this is the code that you saw before. It's A1. We're going to load, you know, whatever this this is like a pointer or like an index. 3 of the 4 tile information are going to go to D1, D2, D3. Boom, boom, boom. So this is the blank. We're going to do our compare, and in this case I did press button 1 and D0 has 10. So we're going to not branch because, you know, we compared we're equal to 10. So now we're going to do all the stuff you saw before. We're going to get the fourth, or the, you know, the first block into D0. We're going to do the rotation. We're going to do the white outline, add, and then we're going to branch to exit. We're going to do the and for the white outline, and then we're going to jump back to where we came from. And now this is resuming the code as usual. No more changes by me. And then, you know, oops, F5. And now I'm going to disable that. And now let's see. I mean, let me reset. So this is the original button 1, and now I'm going backwards. So in the original game now, you would not be able to do this, to move, you know, these pieces back and forth to the same spot, because there was only one rotate. And pressing the 2 buttons together, if you hit it on the same time, does nothing. Oh, actually, it doesn't do nothing. It'll do the anything except for 10. So if it's 20, if it's 70, if it's 40, if it's any combinations, if it's anything other than 10, you're going to get that new rotation. So anyway, that's it. And you know, I had to put my name in here in the title screen. I changed. This said like all rights reserved. Now it says new rotate by Bankpank, and those are the only 2 changes I made. I made an insertion, you know, an injection, I guess it's called, where the original rotate function was, and I put new code in there, and that's it. And you know, I think people should check this game out. It's really cool. I'm kind of obsessed with it, and I'm making a stick, an Emeraldia themed stick, and the stick has 2 buttons, so I really wanted to finish this hack before the stick gets here. I'll show you a image of like the top of the stick, so you see it has 2 buttons. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.